Hello guys, and welcome back to a new video, and welcome back to another episode of my National League South predictions. So we've got an international break this weekend, which means the top 4 tiers of English football are out of action, meaning it's a great opportunity for you to get down and watch your local club, particularly in the top tiers of non-league football where there's big games going on. And that is the case in the National League South, big games at the top and bottom of the league. Let's get straight into the predictions. Just before I get into this video actually, I just want to pay my respects and thoughts go out to the family of Mike Felicitas, who tragically died last week on Saturday, I believe it was. I didn't fit it into my roundup as I forgot, but I'll put it in here now. My thoughts and prayers go out to his friends and family. Tragic loss. He was a brilliant player, especially at National South level. Played for the likes of Hayes and Yedding, Stevenage, Margate at National South level. He was a brilliant player. Gone too soon. He was a great guy as well. On to the predictions now, and for the first game we start off this Saturday is Billericay Town taking on Hungerford. Two teams in really contrasting positions in the league. Billericay obviously comfortably in a playoff position in 7th, whilst Hungerford are battling out in a relegation battle and need all the points they can at this point of the season. Form-wise, both teams are in the best of form. Hungerford are actually better than Billericay form-wise. They've got 5 points from the last 5 games, and Billericay have got 4 from the last 5. In those last 5, Hungerford have scored 4 and conceded 5. Billericay have scored 6 and conceded 9, however. So, form-wise, even though Jake Robertson is back for Billericay, he obviously did get sent off at Slough last week, so he'll miss this game and the next one after that. So this could be an upset here, you know. Hungerford will be fighting for their lives, even though they are away from home, and Billericay are decent at home. They're 10th best team at home in the league, and Hungerford are awful away from home, 2nd best team. Whilst this could be an upset, I reckon Billericay will just edge it out, with them being the home team, and I'm going to go for a narrow 2-1 victory for the home team, Billericay, in this game. Another potential banana skin match is Concord Rangers against Torquay United, and this is another tricky game for Torquay. They've had 2 tricky games in a row. However, they did play brilliantly well and with 10 men against Dartford, so they should have the confidence from that game to go into this one. Away at Concord, it's not a tough, easy place to go by any means. 7th best home team in the league. However, Torquay are the 2nd best away team, so you think either team should be a tight game, you think. Form-wise, Concord obviously had that brilliant win at Hampton last week. Torquay, best form team in the league, 12 points in the last 5, scoring 12 goals in those last 5, only conceding 5. Concord, however, have also scored 12 in their last 5 and only conceded 8, which gives them a return of 9 points, giving them the 5th best form team in the division last 5 games. Tricky game this is to call. Concord, obviously, like I said, amazing away from home. Torquay are on fire at the moment. Could easily be a draw. And I think, even though I predicted the draw last week for Torquay against Dartford, I think they will just have enough to get past Concord. I'm going to go for a high-scoring 3-2 victory for the goals. Next is the game that my team involved in, Hampton and Richmond Borough, who travel away to Dartford. And just before I actually go into this prediction, I want to inform you of a great cause that 2 Hampton fans are doing. Alec James and Chris Hurst, 2 Hampton fans, are going to be walking the 9.5 to 10 hour journey from the Beverley Stadium to Dartford. They'll be setting off at 3 in the morning, and they'll be arriving at Dartford's Printers Park Stadium around 1 o'clock. They're all doing it for a great cause to raise money for the playing budget. I'm going to leave a link in the description to the news article and the GoFundMe page where you can donate. It would be greatly appreciated. It's all for a great cause, and yeah, amazing what they're doing, guys. Full credit to you. On to the prediction, however. Tough game this is for Hampton. I can honestly, I can't see it going very well. Although, even though Hampton have been playing brilliantly away from home, last 2 games, obviously got the 5-3 victory at Oxford and the 1-0 loss at Bath, which they were unlucky not to get something out of. They've been picking up definitely lately. However, Dartford 7th, best form team in the division over the last 5 games. They've got 9 points, scored 6, conceded 5. Obviously, they'll be bitterly disappointed not to get anything out of the Torquay game, especially with them having the extra man for the majority of the game. Away from home, like I said, Hampton, we've picked up a bit recently. We're currently 12th. Yeah, form-wise, however, like I said, Dartford 7th, Hampton 16th, 5 points from the last 5 games, 6 goals scored, 8 conceded. I can't see us winning, however, I won't be surprised if we do, but I reckon we can get a point here. I reckon it'll be a 1-1 draw. It'll be a tough game. Dartford are doing brilliantly at the moment with like Elliot Bradbrook and Charlie Showingham scoring lots of goals, but I reckon with the confidence, the performances we put in for the last 2 away games at Oxford and Bath, we can nick something here, and I think it'll be a 1-1 draw. So yeah, 1-1 draw, my prediction. Next up is the team who are currently the worst form team in the division, Eastbourne Borough, going up against the team who are the 2nd best form team in the division, Bath City. Eastbourne have had a torrid time ever since Mark McGee has come in. He's still yet to win a game. The last 5 games, they've only scored once, conceded 8, and only got 2 points from them. Bath, however, are on fire. Last 5 games, they've scored 8, conceding just 2, picking up 11 points, which is brilliant. They're doing magnificent this season. They're finally starting to get together after some failed playoff pushes for the last couple of seasons. They're on brilliant form. Away from home, they're the 5th best team. So they've got 26 points in their 17 away games this season. Eastbourne, in contrast, are the 17th best home team. They're not doing great at the moment, and I can see this poor form continuing today, if I'm honestly. Bath, a brilliant team. They've got a lot of good players like Wealdstone, and I think Riggs injured, but Wealdstone's a cracking player. And if I'm honest, this could be any number, but I think Eastbourne will score, but I think Bath would have the extra firepower and extra advantage. And I think they'll win 3-1 here at Eastbourne to continue their push for the playoffs. So 3-1 Bath. The teams who desperately need points are Thurrock United, who travel to Hemel, Hempstead town. The Tudors, the home team, are in an absolutely abysmal run of form. They're the second worst form team in the division, only worse than Eastbourne. They've actually scored 4 in the last 5 and conceded more than Eastbourne. They've conceded 9 in their last 5. Their descent down the table is worrying for their fans. However, they're still in 14th place, remarkably, which is only because the teams below them are even crapper. They're on 41 points on 14th place with 35 played. Thurrock, after a brief revival, had a disappointing defeat at home to Oxford City last week, which would have rocked them back, if you pardon the pun. Rocked them back a bit. They're currently 21st on 30 points and 35, 2 points from safety. And they'd be desperate for a win. However, they're not the best away from home. They're the worst away team. From the 17 games they've played, they've only got 8 points, only scored 12 in that, and conceded 29. Hemel, in contrast, as I said, they're really struggling of late. They can't seem to get a result for love nor money at the moment. 19th best home team. 17 games, they've only got 18 points, and they've only scored 20 and conceded 29, like Thurrock away. So this is a real tricky one to call. I can easily see this going anywhere. I can easily see this petering out into a drab 0-0 draw, but I think it'll be a score draw. I think it'll be a 1-1 draw between these two teams. Tough to call. Go either way. I wouldn't be surprised if either team gets 3 points, but 1-1 draw is where I think it will be. Another two teams who are desperate for 3 points are Oxford City and Dulwich Hamlet. So Hamlet will obviously be massively backed by that big win against Truro City last week, the 3-2 in front of Champion Hill. However, Oxford City will also be boosted by the victory over East Thurrock after some poor performances against Hampton and the unlucky defeat to Woking in the last minute. Dulwich away from home, though, are what let them down this season. They're the 3rd worst away team in the division. From the 17 games, they've only picked up 14 points away from home, and only scored 17 goals too, conceding 27. And that is what's let them down this season, because their home form has been brilliant. Champion Hill is always a great atmosphere, like I've said numerous times. With the fans behind you, they pack out every single week, which is amazing support. Full credit to them. Back to Oxford City at home, they're okay. They're obviously the 13th best average away from home. They conceded 5 to Hampton, obviously, and they were pretty crap that day. They've got 23 points on the 79 games, scoring 28 and conceding 22. Again, this is another tricky one to call. Both teams need the points. Dulwich, despite that win, are still by no means safe. They're still only 7 points from safety. And Oxford, whilst their descent down the table will be worrying, you think they'd have enough. They're 13 points on the drop zone. As a result, I think Oxford might just pick up a win here, because I think they could be, as I said, Dulwich are terrible away from home. Oxford started to pick up a bit recently, ever since they lost to Hampton, and I think Oxford will nick this with a narrow 1-0 win again to go on from their 1-0 win East Thurrock. So I think it'll be 1-0 win to Oxford City. The next game I'm going to predict is Albans City, who go up against Gloucester. So the Saints played out a drab and dreary 0-0 draw with Chippenham last time out, and Gloucester's form is still becoming a worry as they're only a point outside the relegation zone of Hungerford. Their last game was obviously a 1-1 draw against Hemel Hempstead town, which is a big relegation battle, with Hemel were continuing their descent down the table. So as I said, they're only a point from the relegation zone from Hungerford town. This could be a big game for Gloucester. However, the thing that has let them down is their atrocious goal scoring record. The lowest scores in the league, 23 goals all season, which is just shocking, really. And they've managed to concede 43 as well in that, so they don't score any, and they concede a lot too. So that's what's let them down. Home side, St Albans are the 8th best home side in the division, getting 34 points from the 17 games, scoring 28 and conceded only 18, which is pretty impressive. Away from home, Gloucester aren't the best. They're 19th, 16 points only picked up, although albeit 3 of those were at Hampton. 17 in those 17 games, they've only scored 10 and only conceded 24. So on paper, St Albans should win comfortably. However, the fact that Gloucester will have the fact they have got the points to stay up, I think they could play a push of it, make a game out of it. However, I think Saints will just have just that upper edge and just that guile going forward will be too much for them. So I think St Albans will nick this by 2-0. When I say nick, I think St Albans will win this by 2-0. I think Gloucester will push them, but I think Saints will eventually. Saints' dominance will eventually show, and I think they'll win 2-0. A team that is in desperate need of 3 points on Truro City as they welcome Chelmsford City to Cornwall on this big game for the home team, as they're only 4 points outside the relegation zone from Hungerford. They're on 35 points from 35 games, so they're averaging a draw a game. 54 scored though, which is really impressive, and that's mainly down to Tyler Harvey and Adam Rooney, who've scored a lot of goals. They have conceded 72 though, which is the worst in the division, and that is what let them down. There's the fact that they had to play more of the season as well didn't help. That's been a massive factor in it too. Chelmsford, in contrast, are on fire at the moment. Form-wise, the last 5 games, they're 9th. They obviously had that disappointing draw against Weston, which they will be devastated with, especially after the away tie went down to 10 men. They've got 7 from their last 5, scoring 6, conceding 5. Truro, however, are on dire straits. 2 from their last 5, 2 points that is from their last 5, scoring just 6 and conceding 10. They've got to be picking up points here, otherwise they will be in dead stuck. Especially if Gloucester and Thurrock pick up points, and also Hungerford. So they've got to be looking at getting points here. Can I see it? I can't personally. I think Chelmsford, they're on fire at the moment, especially with Reece Murphy's goals. I think they will just have too much of Truro, and I think they'll go through a nice big 3-1 away victory at Truro Road. Teams in similar sort of mid-table teams, places in the division, I'll go head-to-head as Wealdstone take on Chippenham Town. This will be a tight game. Wealdstone had a brilliant result at Bath, getting a point, which is a massive result, as Bath are the best home team in the division, top scorers as well. Chippenham, as I said, played out that dire game against St Albans. So you fancy either team here. They're both in really similar runs of form. Chippenham 11th on 7 points and Wealdstone 13th on 6 points, form-wise that is. At home, Wealdstone are the 14th best team, picking up 23 points from 17 games. And away from home, Chippenham are 15th, picking up 18 from 17. So it's could really go either way. You think the draw is the best option. I think it will be a draw, shown by both teams where they're on the table in the mid-table positions. Wealdstone, you think, have to pick up points if they want to put any late playoff charges alive, but it's really unlikely, especially with Concord playing the way they are. So I think this will be a nice, not nice, but I think it'll be a 1-1 draw, which will be even out for both sides. Both sides decent in their own aspects, especially Chippenham away from home and Wealdstone as well. Both, as I said, both really decent sides, so 1-1 draw, my prediction. Although relegation looks inevitable for the Seagulls, Weston-super-Mare will host Welling, hoping to pick up 3 points to put brief chances of staying up alive. They will be backed after a brilliant result at Chelmsford after drawing 2-2, especially with 10 men. They'll be massively boosted by that. Welling will be gutted after drawing 3-3 with Woking, especially after being 3-1 up. They'll be gutted with that result, especially as they're the best home team in the division. Weston are the worst home team in the division in contrast, picking up just 9 points from 17 games and scoring only 15 and conceding 31. Welling, you think, would be hot favourites to this. They will be hot favourites. They're the 10th best away team. They've got 21 points on their 17 away fixtures, scoring 22 and conceding 20. And you think this is the last chance saloon for Weston, even though they're in dire straits as it is. They're currently 8 points from safety. They think they have to win here to have any chance of staying up. 25 points from the 35 games. Welling, in contrast, are still looking to get an automatic playoff semi-final berth place alive. They're currently 1 point from that last automatic berth, which is Bath in 3rd. They're in 4th on 61. And this could be any number, if I'm honest. Even though Weston will be backed by that massive result where at Chelmsford, I think Welling could easily get any number here. And I think they'll win 3-0 and just sinking Weston and pretty much all but confirming their relegation. The final game of the weekend could on paper be a tricky game as Woking take on Slough. So a bit of a local derby here. I don't think either teams really consider it as a derby, but it's a close encounter. There should be a packed crowd, and Slough will probably bring a few. They're great fans, they are, the Rebels. But back to the game, Woking will be hoping to keep their their automatic promotion chances alive, the title chances alive. Although they stepped up last week with the draw at Welling, which has put it in Torquay's hand, they want to keep winning just to put pressure on Torquay in case they do slip up again. So they want to get 3 points here. Slough, in contrast, Stag May having a great season back in the National South. They're going to finish mid-table. I can't see them getting the playoffs with them being 10 points off Billericay. So they've got nothing to play for here. They can go out and enjoy themselves. They'll be backed by that massive 2-1 win against Billericay last week. At home, Woking are a strong force at home, as you obviously know. 37 points on the 17 games at home, scoring 33 and conceding just 17, which is magnificent. Slough away from home, however, has probably dampened them and made their chances less of getting into the playoffs. They're 14th best team away from home, 19 points from 17, 21 goals and 26 conceded. It could be a tight game, which is banana skin for Woking again. They've had some tricky games the last couple of weeks, but I think Slough will push them right to the end, but I think Woking will just narrowly nick this 1-0 and put their promotion chances back up alive and putting the pressure on Torquay. So 1-0 win for Woking, my prediction. And that's about it for this video. Thank you very much for watching. I'll put the games that are going on down below, so you can put your predictions down in the comment. Let me, any questions, any comments you have down below. Don't forget to vote for me in the Football Blogging Awards. You can use it via Instagram. I'll just put my YouTube URL up here, copying in the tabs using the links below. Greatly appreciate any votes you have, even if it does mean I've got no chance. I would really appreciate it. Twitter, Snapchat, Instagram, socials are down below. I hope you have a very good day and enjoy your weekend and enjoy supporting your team, wherever you're off to. Again, thank you very much for watching, and I'll see you probably on Monday for my National League South Roundup videos. Thank you very much for watching, and goodbye.